Good morning, Michiana. 5:59 and new overnight. A wind chill advisory for all of our Indiana counties until 8 o'clock this morning. It feels like -10 to -15 out there. A bitter cold start to the day. It's going to be downright cold as we go into the afternoon, but there is a warm up all ahead of more snow. I'll have the details in your ABC 57 First Warning neighborhood weather forecast. ABC 57 News continues right now.
Covering South Bend, Elkhart, and all of Michiana. This is ABC 57 News at 6.
We'll bundle up this morning, Michiana, and buckle up, too. Not only are temperatures near sub-zero this morning, you could also drive over some black ice on your commute to work. Plus, a controversial bill is passed in Michigan overnight. What those wanting an abortion will now have to pay. And problems in the Granger well system. Why the results of the year-long study may shock you this morning. Good morning, Michiana. Welcome to ABC 57 News. I'm Emily Pritchard. We've been following those new and developing stories overnight. So far, there are several school delays this morning across Indiana. And let's get straight to ABC 57 First Warning neighborhood meteorologist Tom Coombs to see what we can expect today. Hey, Tom.
Good morning, Emily. Yeah, wind chill advisory, as I mentioned, in effect for all of our Indiana counties until 8 o'clock this morning. Temperatures are very cold. Look at the actual wind chills. We're in that -10 to -15 range. Bitter cold this morning. The wind isn't really that intense. It's only 5 to 10 miles per hour, but even a light breeze with near 0-degree temperatures out there this morning. That's what's making it feel so cold. Today will only top out around 16. It's going to be frigid. We do see a warm up into tomorrow, all ahead of our next snowmaker. I'll show you that in your ABC 57 First Warning neighborhood weather forecast. Emily?
Thanks, Tom. And 6:01 this morning, you can expect to see some changes to the St. Joseph River, which could keep you safely driving in weather much like you're seeing this morning. Beginning Monday, Indiana Michigan Power will start the annual drawdown of the river. The water level will be lowered by 2 feet to help reduce the ice buildup at the County Road 17 bridge. Now, this will happen upstream of the Elkhart Hydroelectric Generating Station. The water level will return to normal in early spring. And breaking overnight, Michigan lawmakers passed a controversial bill, one that will require women to pay an extra insurance fee for abortions. They're calling it the Abortion Insurance Opt-out Act. And ABC 57's Eric Cox is live in studio this morning with the latest. Eric.
Good morning, Emily. Come March, Michigan will become the 9th state to ban the use of private insurance plans for covering abortions. And, well, according to Michigan's Constitution, the law will go into effect in 90 days with or without Governor Rick Snyder's signature. A similar bill was actually vetoed by Snyder last year, but when an anti-abortion group called Right to Life collected over 300,000 signatures, the legislation was put before lawmakers once again. This time, the Republican majority in Michigan played a part as it almost passed entirely along party lines, with all of the Republicans in both the House and Senate voting in support of the bill. This law will now no doubt affect low-income women living in Michigan, ones who can't easily put together hundreds of dollars to put towards an expensive abortion procedure. Some opposers are saying the bill forces women to buy what they're calling rape insurance, and because if you want coverage now, even in situations involving rape or incest, you have to pay an extra fee. Live in the studio, Eric Cox, ABC 57 News.
Thank you, Eric. And right now, the Marshall County Sheriff's Office is investigating a deadly workplace accident that happened at Nicor, a Tippecanoe construction business. Investigators are still trying to determine this morning how that happened. But the sheriff tells ABC 57 the man was crushed to death around noon Wednesday. He was actually a truck driver unloading machinery and doesn't work for Nicor, according to police. And the man was killed when a piece of machinery fell on top of him. And if you were waiting to book that flight for the holidays, well, this one is going to hit you hard in the wallet. Prices are going up for Delta flights right here in the U.S. ABC 57's Eric Stelzer is breaking down what's trending this morning, including those prices and why J.P. Morgan is set to pay $1 billion in penalties. Good morning, Eric.
Emily, good morning. It looks like a lot of these airline companies trying to capitalize right now in the peak of the holiday traveling season. This is the 12th time just this year that airlines have tried to raise ticket prices, but luckily most of those were not very successful. 3 of those hikes were initiated by Delta, including the most recent hike. However, this time Delta is looking to increase round-trip fares by $4 to $10 a ticket. I posted a question on our Facebook page earlier today asking people what they thought about this airline price hike. There's a few comments coming in right now. One person saying that they think you can't afford that $4 to $10 price increase, that you shouldn't really be flying at all. Other people saying that they'll just be driving this year instead of flying home for the holidays. Now, also this morning, J.P. Morgan's $1 billion deal would end a criminal probe into whether the bank provided adequate warnings about Bernie Madoff. He was arrested back in 2008 and had ties to J.P. Morgan for nearly 2 decades. The bank is also expected to pay additional fines to U.S. regulators about the warnings, as well as several other groups. Now, we still want you to send off on our Facebook page. There's a few comments there right now, so let's get those comments in and we can mention what you guys think about this on air later this morning. In the newsroom, Eric Stelzer, ABC 57 News.
Thank you, Eric. And the St. Joseph County Health Department has released its findings after a year-long study of water in Granger. Those results could make you a little sick this morning. ABC 57's Marissa Kirby was at last night's meeting and has those results for us this morning.
City health officials I talked to tell me that nitrate can be caused from just our body's natural breakdown of its organic matter. But once it gets into the water supply, that's when city officials say they're not taking this situation lightly. Granger's water, the same water residents are drinking and showering with, has been confirmed to be contaminated by the area's septic system. And that's not all. After a year-long study, the health department also detected signs of medications.
We did not really expect to find pharmaceuticals as prevalently as we found them. The pharmaceuticals people are consuming them. They're going through our bodies into the septic system and into the groundwater.
If you do get your water check and find that the levels are high, contact the health department and they will guide you in the right direction of what next to do. They plan to meet in January to discuss the best ways to go about making this water safer for Granger residents. In Granger, Marissa Kirby, ABC 57 News.
And this morning, ABC 57 has a safety alert for you and your family. This is involving IKEA kids lamps. The recall involves a repair of the children's wall-mounted lamps due to a strangulation hazard. A 16-month-old child died in a crib after getting entangled in a lamp's cord. In another incident, a 15-month-old child nearly strangled. Now, the lamps were sold in 8 designs, and you should stop using that lamp right away and contact IKEA for a free repair kit. New this morning, Detroit Mayor Dave Bing delivered his last speech last night, being addressed to business and civic leaders. He says during his first and only term, he made many tough decisions, including laying off city employees. Now, Bing also said he didn't agree with decisions handed down by Governor Rick Snyder.
Unless you've been lying under a rock, you know that corruption, pay-to-play, and scandal brought down the previous administration. It became a top priority to rebuild our citizens' trust in city government. I'm proud to say that we took on this enormous challenge.
Now, Bing says his primary goal was to transform Detroit, but his responsibilities were reduced when Snyder appointed an emergency financial manager. Breaking overnight in Detroit, 5 people hurt in a fire on the city's east side, including 4 kids. 2 of those children suffered severe burns. The other 2 are being treated for smoke inhalation. Now, the 5th person reportedly is a children's grandmother. She supposedly suffered a broken leg after jumping out of a window. Now, the cause of the fire is still under investigation this morning. A 7-month-old baby girl was found unresponsive yesterday afternoon in her car seat. The Chicago Fire Department says the baby was wearing a snowsuit. She was taken to a hospital where she was pronounced dead. Now, it's unclear this morning where the car seat was found, but police say 2 other kids, ages 6 and 2, were taken from that home and taken to the hospital to be checked out. Now, crews say the infant's death is domestic and not cold-related. Well, this morning, Notre Dame football is down another coach. It's 6:09. Now, we already know Chuck Martin is headed to Miami of Ohio. But this morning, who else is leaving the university to coach their own team? Plus, changes to Major League Baseball, what the organization is trying to do now.
A frigid start this morning. We're near 0. No big warm up today, but we do get a little warmer tonight. And I'll talk about more snow in your ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Weather Forecast.